If you're afraid of the water, I mean, it limits you to a lot of things you can't do. So there is a company, it's actually something that was invented by a surfer, and the company is called Airtime Watertime. They have a brand new product. It's kind of like a wetsuit, but it has a flotation device at the chest. And so it helps you, rather than putting on a life jacket that they're super uncomfortable sometimes, they can ride up a little bit and you don't feel completely safe. But this thing, to me, it works like one of those thunder jackets for a dog. So it kind of seals you in a little tighter and makes you feel more comforted.
Okay.
Which I think helps you get over the fear. Everybody wears a life jacket pretty much when they get in the ocean, when they get in the water. This is different. This is a different level for people who absolutely have a fear of the water.
Because it keeps you floating as soon as you go in.
Exactly, but it wraps you in almost like comfort.
Well, it's a big wetsuit, basically.
Yeah, but it's got that flotation device in the front of it. And many people have said, I never got in the water before. I tried this product out and boom, now they're
out and swimming. And one day they'll be able to do it without having that thing on.
I think so too, because it helps them get past that fear.
Called a thing. What is it called?
It's called a floater. A floater wetsuit. Yeah.
Oh.
See, I need something like that for roller coasters, I think. Something that wraps me in comfort. I don't need it to float.
She won't go in a roller coaster.
Mm-mm.
They really call this a floater?
They call it a floater.
Okay.
They do. I don't like the name of it.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking different here, but
I don't like the name of it. But
well,
anyway.
I get it.
Yeah.
You float in the water with it.
You do.
Okay.
Maybe the floater comforter. Or
floater comforter.
I don't know. Something.
His Morning Crew.
So we were just sharing with you about this flotation device that's not a flotation device. It's not your normal life preserver. Mm-hmm. It helps people overcome fear of being in the water and swimming and all that other stuff. So it's like a wetsuit with a flotation device strapped inside it. And it's like, oh, I can swim with this thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so what is your fear? Because that's what we want to know. So we were asking around the room.
Well, what I'm curious of, you probably have a fear, but have you overcome a fear?
Oh, yeah.
How have you overcome a fear? Liz has one of roller coasters. She hasn't overcome that just yet.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't think I want to.
Is it heights?
No, not at all, because I've rappelled off buildings.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I've done hot air balloons. Mm-hmm. It's not I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Huh.
I don't like the feeling in the tummy. Maybe it's the being out of control thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Ian, who's one of our producers, is afraid of butterflies.
I'm afraid of all insects.
Nope. Butterflies.
So much so that butterflies creep me out too. Like I just have so many.
He runs from butterflies.
That's called lepidopterophobia.
Oh, you looked it up.
Bless you.
Okay. TJ says he has a fear of bees, so he doesn't like to be stung, evidently. Is it just bees? Is it like wasps or anything else?
Well, it's anything that can sting me, but I'm slowly getting over that.
Yeah, it's really not bad. I've been stung a couple of times. It's not bad.
So you would be afraid of like scorpions or anything that could sting you, a fire ant, that kind of stuff?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's
no,
weird.
Just things that can fly in my face and get all up in my face.
That's weird. Okay, what's yours, Rob?
I've been racking my brain. I really can't think of a fear. Not afraid of heights. I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I like to cycle up mountains, and I love to, go down really fast and around the curves and stuff like that. So I don't have a fear. I think one thing that if this would be a fear, I don't know, but I don't want to go to the grave thinking that I messed up what I was assigned to do on this planet. I want to make sure that I did it right with my kids. And I feel like the older kids, I could have done things different. All that other stuff.
Yeah, a fear of regret,
I guess
in
that
your life.
could be.
But I think you've taken care of that.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
And we could all...
There are days I look back.
Well, sure, but that's the point. We're not perfect. We don't have to be perfect.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That's the whole point of it.
I'm the furthest from perfect is perfect. I'm the definition of unperfect.
So
look in Webster. Look in Webster. You'll see Dempsey there. So anyway, how have you overcome a fear? You could probably name dozens of them, but what's one that you've overcome? Well, I would love to hear that story at 800-447-7234. It's Rob and Liz, His Radio.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
There was something, and then you overcame it. So let's talk about that fear. It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio.
Chris, he said he overcame his fear by bungee jumping.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he said to overcome the fear of heights, he said it worked, but I don't really recommend it. You get slung around a little bit more than you think. He says one of the hardest things he ever did was actually to make that climb to a 220-foot platform.
And then did it.
And then jumped.
Chris, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then
absolutely amazing.
Roy said my fear of not being accepted caused him to live in the shadows of addiction.
Oh, my.
But he overcame it. You know how he did that?
How?
God's grace.
All right, Roy.
12-step program helped him learn to surrender those fears.
Good for
completely
you.
To God, yeah.
Good for you. Angela's with us at 800-447-7234. That fear, and how'd you overcome it, Angela?
When I was very little, I really, really hated being afraid of things. I still do. I remember I lived in Colorado at the time, and we were going over a canyon that was about 1,000 feet deep. My parents were taking me across a bridge. I remember I was so scared. My heart was pounding like crazy. And so what I did was I stood at the edge of the bridge, and I walked looking down that 1,000-foot cavern as far as I could go until my heart stopped beating super fast. And that's actually how I overcame my fear of heights.
Really? You just faced it straight on.
And how old were you when you did that?
I was about 5 or 6. It was pretty early, and I've kind of had a habit of doing things like that since. Jumping off of, waterfalls, things like that. I basically learned to shut my brain off and just go with it. Wow. I have a lot of more fun that way, too.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Just take on that waterfall and go, woo!
I know, man. Well, fear holds you back in so many ways. I know I'm not enjoying the roller coasters. Ian's not enjoying the beauty of butterflies.
He's afraid of butterflies.
But, fear does hold you back in so many ways. So
yeah, and Liz doesn't know what she's missing when it comes to the roller coasters.
And I'm okay with that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I love this one. Tanya said she had this fear of flying. She's still not real comfortable with it, but a little more at ease. And here's how she got through. Her grandchildren moved from Savannah to Arizona, and she had to go see them. So she jumped on a plane, and Grandma went to see those babies.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's how you overcome a fear like that.
Yeah, sometimes you
have to.
Forced into it,
you
and
have
that's
to.
okay.
Was there a lot of Benadryl?
I bet. Or some treats or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lauren's along with us at 800-447-7234. What was that fear? How'd you overcome it?
Water, actually. Horrible, terrified of water, would have a panic attack. It was completely irrational. Like, I could be in a swimming pool and, have a panic attack that there was a shark or there was something in the water with me and I just couldn't see it. And when I hit teenage, what I used to do is I would literally just put myself in the water and close my eyes and sink to the bottom of it and open it up and just talk myself through it till I ran out of air and then come back up.
Good for you.
Wow.
I literally would just submerge myself and look at my surroundings and tell myself I am in a pool. I am perfectly safe. I am okay. I do the same thing now when I go to the ocean and stuff. As long as I can see through the water, I'm fine. When I go to the lake, if I feel like I can't see, I carry a flashlight in my car that I will actually take in the water with me. Sounds ridiculous, but I have not had a panic attack on water in years.
So how does that make you feel when you overcome it like that?
I felt good about it, but I felt even better that my kids are absolute water bugs and do not have a fear of water at all.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
People that have overcome stuff at 800-447-7234. It could have been a fear or whatnot. Liz, poor thing, she's still trying to overcome this thing about roller coasters
I'm
that she
really
has.
not trying to overcome
but you
it.
can. You can.
I could, yes,
you can, yeah.
for sure, with lots of support.
Just think about, question. Her husband's Joey. Does he like roller coasters?
He loves roller coasters.
Oh, well, he needs you to be on there with him.
Yeah,
That's a reason. There's love involved here for you to go on the roller coaster.
I love him, and he gets me through a lot of things. He's very supportive. That's not one of them.
Oh, he can help. No, listen. Okay, so here is David.
Yeah.
David has overcome some things in life. So, David, you're on his radio, 800-447-7234. What did you overcome?
3 years ago, I had onset PTSD, memories of family members and all that fun jazz. And through something called Celebrate Recovery and having other people there.
It's great to have a support group to help you walk through something like that.
How did you make that first step to go to Celebrate Recovery?
I dealt with addiction. I didn't know why I was dealing with addiction. It just was there. So I took my first step to break free from that. And when I went into the support group, I started having those PTSD flashes. I was like, what's going on? And more we dug in, more I found, and more I was able to give it over to God. In fact, I just got my 3-year chip.
Good for you. Congratulations.
And if anyone out there is struggling with PTSD, I would suggest finding a good support group. People who are willing to listen, who understand.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
I think they're sparing no expense.
Okay.
When it comes to this titanium toilet, they're sparing no expense.
What in the world?
Titanium. I don't know what kind of, you probably have porcelain. I have porcelain.
Yeah.
But it looks like this titanium is really good. It's compatible for both a man and a woman. The titanium toilet. Evidently, the titanium toilet's available now. I don't know what it is now.
Like, is it available at Home Depot and Lowe's?
No. NASA's sending it to the International Space Station.
Okay, makes a little more sense now.
A little pricey tag on it.
Oh, how much?
Wild guess. Wild guess. How much?
Titanium, going to space.
It's a toilet.
$750,000.
Wow, that's not a bad guess.
Okay.
It's way off.
Oh, sorry.
Boy, it's grossly off.
$2 million.
Still way off.
$12 million.
Should she be going backwards?
Oh, okay.
No, it's $23 million.
For a potty?
For a potty. But this is not your ordinary potty. It's a potty in space.
Still, though. Wow.
Yeah, and they're making a big deal that it's compatible for the female astronauts because evidently the one available there now is not. Because
that's not good.
For many years, it's just been men going to space. It wasn't until the Challenger that the first woman was going to be going into space then. And then the horrible thing happened to the Challenger.
Exactly. But didn't we have not that long ago like an all-female astronaut or like space? I can't think what I'm trying to say here.
And she's pointing to the sky too. She goes, and she points to the sky
like a rocket. Space mission. There's my word. Mission. Early.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Wasn't there an all-female space mission?
I don't know. It's not impossible that there would be one.
It's not impossible.
No, not at all.
That is the way to start my day with that. I love that.
You like Mission Impossible?
I love Mission Impossible.
We went from toilet and space to Mission Impossible. Oh, wow. She's way off on the song now.
Yeah,
but.
I know.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Enough of the pumpkin, please. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Maybe pumpkin's your jam, so I don't want to offend. And I don't mean to offend. She said pumpkin jam. Did you hear that? Oh, man. You're one of these pumpkin nuts?
No, not really. I do like a little pumpkin sometimes in certain things, but all the things that are coming out now is kind of cray.
What are your thoughts of honey baked? Are you ready for this? Honey baked pumpkin spiced ham.
Nope. I like just that regular maple glaze thing they put on it.
But just make it ham. Why put the pumpkin spice glazed, stuff all over it?
And then they're doing it to the turkey as well.
Well, they've done it to coffee too. So my wife bought some of this pumpkin spiced coffee.
Yeah.
So we tried it on Saturday. And it's like, why do we even buy the bag?
Yeah.
She likes pumpkin stuff.
But she didn't like the coffee.
She didn't like the coffee. I didn't like the coffee either.
Huh. I found one over the weekend, maple pecan.
Coffee?
Yes. It's so
Not the creamer. We're talking coffee.
The actual little K-cup. It was really good. But they're trying pumpkin spice in everything. Have you seen the Spam?
Pumpkin spice Spam.
There's pumpkin. No. You can get it on eBay, I think.
Hey, listen, when I was homeless as a kid, I ate a lot of Spam.
Oh, sure.
You can get Spam from church.
Yeah, who didn't eat Spam when they were growing up and that kind of thing? But pumpkin
Spam
spice.
and ramen noodles. But if they would have put pumpkin and all that,
it's like a college student.
Yeah.
Spam and ramen noodles.
That's
for sure.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You can probably think back to one of those times when your kid did something or said something and your heart just swelled with pride. Well, that happened to Ryan Stevenson over the past week. He was at a baseball game with his son and his son, Keegan. He looks like he might be 9 or 10 years old, so he's playing Little League. And one of his friends was out on the mound. And man, when your kid is having a hard time on the mound, when he's up to bat or whatever, that can be heartbreaking. Well, little Keegan, which is Ryan Stevenson's son, his buddy came into the dugout, was having a breakdown. He knew he didn't do as well as he wanted to. So Keegan puts his little arm around his buddy and starts giving him a pep talk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and telling him it's okay. Like, this is just a game. You'll do better next time. You're my friend. I love you, that kind of stuff. And Ryan took a picture of it and posted, and he said, I love watching who he is now and the man that he's becoming. And I hope we all raise our sons to look for the needs of others and to help them, through their difficulties with grace.
Well, way to go, Ryan.
Right. And way to go, Keegan. It's amazing when your kid says something or does something. My youngest, Hayden, I wanted to share this, over the weekend said, because he loves Marvel characters and all the superheroes, he said, I can never be a superhero, but I can be a hero to somebody else. I want to adopt kids when I get older.
Wow.
I was like...
He's a senior in high school, by the way.
Yeah. And I just looked at him and I was like, I'll be back in a minute.
She goes and has a mommy moment.
Yes, but pride.
His morning crew.
Looking for a house? I think I might have found one for you. It's a good size, about 2,200 square feet, just
good.
shy of 2,300 square feet. Not bad. It has curved walls of steel and gunite, which is made to make in-ground swimming pools. That's the walls. Tier-shaped skylights and a floating wood bench. Oh, plus a kitchen table that's suspended over a deck. Sounds like a wonderful house, doesn't it?
Wait a minute. A kitchen table suspended over a deck?
Oh, yeah. This is modern thinking here when it comes to this house. Oh, and by the way, the shape of it is a mushroom.
Why?
So it looks like a mushroom.
Why?
The people in it say, don't call it a mushroom. I think it's more like a sand dollar.
Well, you're showing me a picture, and it honestly looks like very modern, but also like the Flintstones.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you take a look at it.
Bedrock house.
This is off of a nice river. It's in Texas, and it's $2.3 million. So if you're looking for a house, I found one for you. That's it right there. Fireplace looks kind of really cool, too.
I wonder if that's with the cost of living in that area, though, that, for us, it's like kind of mind-blowing.
It
that
blows
it would be
my
that,
mind.
Yeah, that it would be that cost, but depending on where you are, it could be just a little more expensive. I don't know.
Yeah. Kitchen is like horse-shaped,
Yeah.
horseshoe shaped.
I don't want a suspended kitchen table, because anytime I got to get the salt, do I have to then jump down or like, what?
Yeah. Oh, it's like a swing. It's kind of neat.
No.
Really modern.
I like stability.
You're not into that?
I'm not into that.
I'm sorry.
No.
Well,
Farmhouse table.
It's for somebody else.
Yeah.
This is a house for somebody who likes shrooms. I don't know.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Dr. Stans was real busy. He delivered not just Jenna, but also Max and also Elliot at all different times, but they are family. They all have the same last name. So here's the thing. They're not siblings.
Okay.
No, they're not cousins.
Okay.
Jenna is mom, Max is dad, and Elliot is the son. And Dr. Stans delivered all three.
He delivered all three of them?
Yes. Back in 91, it was Jenna who came out first. Then he delivered Max a couple of months later. Somewhere down the line, these two met each other and said, hey, weren't you delivered by Dr. Stans in 91?
Do you think that was it? That was their
I don't
end
think
with each
that
other?
was the conversation. Just so happened that was it. This is in West Columbia, as a matter of fact. So he delivered all of them at the Lexington Medical Center in West Columbia.
See, I was going to ask, was this a really small town? No.
No, Columbia is not small.
Not at all.
No. So he delivered September 2nd, Elliot.
Like, my
Same
mind is
doctor.
blown by this. It's like they were meant to be together.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
To say, what? Like, I'm still just blown away by this.
They could have laid in the same little bed
They could
when
have.
they were born.
Or mom been in the same exact room in the hospital. And
Same doctor, everything.
that's wild.
That's God, you know?
That is definitely God. And if you ever asked for a sign, that's one of them, I would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And who's going to deliver the great-great-great-grandchildren? Not Dr. Stans.
I would not think
No.
so.
He'll be promoted to heaven by then.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So a real estate agent and her boyfriend were out on the golf course and, just putting away. I don't know if it was a competitive game or they were just having some fun. Anyway, Katie goes up to take a putt, and all of a sudden here comes a deer, and she just sort of stood still and didn't move, didn't say anything much. And then you can hear her boyfriend in the back of the video say, "Go ahead, take the putt," as the deer is moving closer to her. He looks like a young buck. He's got just the beginnings of the little horns or whatever. And as she putts, he just kind of sniffs the golf club. Like he then sniffs her hand. She giggles. He doesn't run. He just hangs out on the golf course with him for the next few minutes.
Nice.
There's no fear at all
from this deer.
Yeah. So then people are starting to kind of liken her to Snow White.
Snow White, the golfer.
Exactly.
Yes.
What I love about this is she could be a nursery rhyme because her name is Katie Nolf, was out playing golf. So it's the beginning of a nursery rhyme. She could totally have one, but I would love to have something like that happen.
That is neat, isn't it?
Yeah, just out in the wild.
When wildlife comes up like that?
Yeah, well, certain wildlife. Yes.
Certain wildlife. Like
Deers,
what would not be for you?
An angry bear, a snake,
lion,
cheetah,
tigers.